You don't feel jealous because you're controlling, and you don't feel jealous because you want to own someone. You feel jealous because something inside you feels replaceable. You notice it in small moments, the way your chest tightens when they mention someone new, the way your mind starts filling in gaps you didn't ask it to fill, the sudden urge to check, compare, imagine, brace. And then the shame arrives. Why am I like this? Why can't I just be secure? You're not broken for reacting this way. It makes sense that your body responds before your logic does. In psychology, this reaction is called attachment threat activation. It happens when your nervous system detects a possible loss of emotional safety, even before anything has actually happened. Jealousy is not about what they're doing. It's about what your body is afraid of losing. For many people, jealousy is rooted in early attachment experiences, times when attention was inconsistent, when love felt conditional, when closeness could disappear without warning. In psychology, this pattern is known as attachment insecurity, and it trains the nervous system to stay alert for signs of abandonment. So your mind starts scanning, you replay conversations, you overanalyze tone, you compare yourself to imagined rivals. These behaviors aren't random. They're attempts to prevent loss. And if your past included emotional unpredictability, jealousy becomes even louder, because your system learned that staying vigilant was the only way to stay connected. There's also another layer people rarely talk about. Jealousy often intensifies in relationships where affection is inconsistent. Warm one moment, distant the next. In psychology, this is called intermittent reinforcement, and it creates some of the strongest emotional bonds we know. Your nervous system learns that love is scarce, so when you feel it might be taken away, panic steps in. This is why jealousy doesn't feel calm. It feels urgent, obsessive, embarrassing. But urgency doesn't mean immaturity. It means your system is trying to protect something it once had to fight for. Most people try to get rid of jealousy, but psychologically, jealousy isn't something to eliminate. It's something to translate. Jealousy is information. In psychology, jealousy is often connected to self-worth regulation, meaning your sense of value becomes tied to how secure the bond feels. So when the bond feels threatened, your worth feels threatened too. That's why reassurance helps, but never lasts, because reassurance treats the symptom, not the system. Many people with jealousy learned early that connection was fragile, that being chosen required effort, vigilance, or comparison. So jealousy becomes a survival strategy, not a character flaw. You may notice it shows up as overthinking, checking their social media, comparing yourself to others, feeling calm only when closeness is confirmed. These are not signs of being too much. They're signs of a nervous system that learned safety was conditional. In psychology, this pattern is sometimes called externalized regulation, relying on another person to stabilize your emotional state. The problem isn't jealousy. It's that your system never learned how to feel secure internally. And here's the quiet truth. Jealousy doesn't mean you don't trust them. Often, it means you don't trust that you'd survive emotionally if the bond disappeared. That fear deserves compassion, not criticism. As healing progresses, jealousy doesn't disappear overnight. It softens, because the goal isn't to stop caring. The goal is to stop abandoning yourself when fear appears. In psychology, this shift is called earned security, when safety becomes something you carry, not something you chase. And when that happens, jealousy stops feeling like a threat. It becomes a signal, a reminder of where reassurance is still needed inside you, not from them, but from yourself. That's when connection stops feeling fragile, and love starts feeling like a choice, not a test.